Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dream Star Grand Prix 2024 review series right here on my YouTube channel. I, of course, am your host, Scott Edwards. If you're joining us for the first time, the second time, the sixth time, or if you've been here since the beginning of the Stardom 5-star Grand Prix reviews, I welcome you back. Thank you so much for listening. Before we continue on in this review, I do ask you, please press that like button, leave a comment. What was your favorite match from the show? How are you enjoying the tournament as we head into the final 2 days? And any other thoughts you may have. Also, make sure you press that subscribe button so you never miss a video. We got some cool things cooking up for future series because the tournaments are almost over and I don't want this YouTube channel to just stop. So cooking some stuff up, maybe that has to do with the Queen of Villains show, of course, on Netflix that everyone should go check out. But let's talk about Marigold and the continuation of the Dream Star. I think the Dream Star has been really good. Like for my expectations, right? You have the top wrestlers like Sari, Utami, Mirai, Nanai, but you also have a lot of wrestlers trying to develop along the way. You have the Kouki Amareis, Victoria Izuki's, Kizuna Tanaka's, Chiaki's, Chikagoto's, right? They're all trying to find their way. And I think this show almost perfectly highlighted how far they've come in finding their way. So I'm really excited to talk about this show. I think there's a lot to like about what they're doing, and it ultimately means growth for the long term. So let's get to the show. Just 4 matches, not too much to talk about here today in terms of overall content, but a really good 3, I think, and ultimately one that I just kind of expected it to be the way it goes. So let's talk about here Dreamstar Grand Prix Day 6 of the tournament, with the main event being Mirai versus Victoria Izuki. So we started off with Mai Sakurai versus Chiaki, and this kind of has fallen down the usual rabbit hole of the Chiaki match, right? She attacks before the bell, has a chair spot at one point. It's getting a little repetitive, and I think she is, I think Chiaki is benefiting, but I also think Chiaki's the type of wrestler, like I talked about this with Miyu Amasaki a few years ago. I think she benefits even more from doing like tag matches with the likes of Nozaki, because I think learning with someone and being paired with someone does a lot of good for someone like Chiaki. Though I do think she's had some good performances in this tournament. I think this match just kind of was just there for me, because you knew Mai Sakurai was winning. That was never a question, right? Mai Sakurai is going to go into the final 2 days with a real shot at winning the Star League. But I watch her and Chiaki, and I just, it was kind of as expected. I think ultimately with Chiaki, you want to see a little bit more in these matches, but this is her role, and ultimately I have no fault in that. She plays her role well, right? Being the heel that's going to try to have some underhanded tactics to try to win, and I think that's fine in the end. And it is what it is. This was the weakest match on the show, which wasn't a big shock. It wasn't long by any means, so it didn't affect me at all. But Mai Sakurai gets the win with the STF, and that was again the most important part of the match. She moves to 8 points. She's 1 point back of Sari in the Star League. Obviously, she has the loss to Sari, so it'll be interesting. She faces Miku Ano on Monday. That's the big time match for her in this tournament. Obviously, a potential United National title challenger. So, really looking forward to that match. Could main event that show, actually. And we had Kouki Amarei versus Nagisa Nozaki. How was Kouki Amarei going to follow up on such a great showing against Mirai? That was my big question coming into this match, and she followed up perfectly. This has been as ideal of a tournament as you could ask for Kouki. We are seeing the necessary strides that I don't think we were necessarily seeing in her first few months in Marigold, but she is making those strides. She has made her style very basic. It is use the big boot to my advantage, right? Continuously use those boots because it's the best offensive move she does. And it's funny because, that's what Nozaki does. a lot of Nozaki's style, yes, she uses some kicks, but a lot of them are those big boots in different fashions. And was a match where we saw Kouki do just that. She used the big boot in different ways, and it created a very exciting match between these two. I thought these two hit a home run in terms of my expectations, right? Nozaki wasn't out there going 100%. I didn't expect her to do that, but she knew the mission at hand, and ultimately it continues to make Kouki look great in the long run. She did miss the butterfly. She hit her backdrop driver, goes for the butterfly, ultimately misses, crashes, and burns. Nozaki hits a big running kick, but Koki's able to avoid losing to that. And ultimately, the match was won when Kouki hit her own big boot, probably the nastiest big boot I've seen her hit so far, and quickly rolled up Nozaki for the win, which Nozaki was pissed, went after the ref, but Kouki has stormed through this tournament. And I guess it's not shocking, right? It's about making new wrestlers, and she has been made, right? She's beaten Mirai. There's a very, very strong chance she could beat Utami on the final night. We are heading into that final night, right? And Kouki, she's going to face Chikagoto. I think she does come up short there. I think that's going to be Chikagoto's big win in the tournament when the Twin Towers go head to head. But I do think ultimately this has been a win no matter what. And that Utami match, I'm very intrigued by. What does that look like? Does Kouki have the best match of her career on the final night? I think all these things are in the realm of possibility. So I'm really looking forward to it. Really good win for her here. Just, putting consistent performances back to back like this. It's great to see. It really is. Then we have the semi-main event, Sareee versus Kizuna Tanaka. My favorite thing about Sareee in Marigold, obviously, is like I've talked about this past couple times, is the character that she has played of, I hate this roster. I want to prove to this roster that they're nothing. Yet, but it's very, despite all that, it's very apparent how much she loves Kizuna Tanaka. Like, this is someone that she's had on her Sareeism shows before Tanaka left Wave. This is someone she's teamed up with before. She's faced before outside of Marigold. Has and this is someone that Kizuna looks up to. Kizuna treats Sari very different from the rest of the Marigold roster. So I remember circling this match heading into this show because I was like, this is going to be a big moment for Kizuna. And I think Kizuna probably had her best single showing in Marigold so far in this match. Um, Sari gave her a good amount. Like, there was a lot of respect between these two. Obviously, Kizuna is wrestling as the underdog, but she had a great underdog performance, right? Hitting forearms, hitting drop kicks, just continuously going at Sari, and Sari just taking it and coming back at her. She even hit a headbutt on the top rope at one point, which was a great spot. Um, Sari ultimately said enough is enough. She hit the brutal bottom rope drop kick and followed it up with a Uranagi to get the win. But you watch this match, and again, it's about growth, right? We watched 3 straight matches where Kouki continues her success, her growth. Kizuna continues her growth, and then of course the main event we'll talk about with Victoria Izuki. But I really enjoyed what they went for here. I think, again, Sari such an ideal wrestler to have in this tournament because while she is, yes, playing the character of I don't like you and so on and so forth, she's very clearly going out of her way, I think, to help these young wrestlers. And I think Chiaki's best match was with her because they had they had enough time for Chiaki to show more than just the heel tactics. And I think that's really beneficial to the entire Marigold because ultimately Sari's whole thing, she wants to build up the Joshi scene. She wants to bring Zenjo back, and it's showing. It's showing in matches like this. So this was quite good. This and the Nozaki Kouki back to back was really good, but I thought the main event was the match of the show. Of course, that was Mirai versus Victoria Izuki. Victoria Izuki, I've gone all in on, right? I went all in on her first match when she debuted in Stardom against Momo Watanabe. And I feel pretty successful after her matches with Utami and Mirai in this tournament. She had a great showing here. Her offense was all on. She's hitting it with more and more impact as time goes on. And Mirai's just a super worker, man. Like, she is just next level this time around. Absolutely next level. It's honestly shocking how great I think she is. Not because I've always believed in Mirai. I've always been a Mirai fan. But I feel like she's taken it so many notches above where she was towards the end of her Stardom run that you can just tell she's wrestling with confidence and excitement and happiness. And I think the pressure isn't as much there for her, despite being, top 2 wrestler in the company. But she has taken the ace role, I think, from Utami for the time being and is wrestling like the ace. She's been absolutely incredible. And she went in there with Izuki one day after going in there with Kouki, and I think gave her best match as well. I think watching Yuzuki in this match, right? She has taken a lot from the top wrestlers she competed against. She has taken the bottom rope drop kick from Sari. She's taken the great styled super kicks from Mayu Iwatani, and she's made them her own. And I think what I notice most here is the amount of stiffness she's putting on her moves now, especially when she's in there with someone like a Mirai or an Utami, where she might feel more comfortable hitting them a little bit harder because they're going to be able to take it. She took a nasty head bump on a lariat by Mirai towards the end of the match that I was like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, are you okay? That was nasty. Ultimately, Mirai wins with the Miramare tapping out Izuki here, but this was a really good main event and just continues the process of this tournament of wrestlers learning. Izuki has gone from a hopeful top prospect in Joshi to, like, she is the one, like, she hasn't even wrestled a year yet, but she so very clearly is going to be the future of this company and the scene overall. It's why when she flipped over, a lot of people were saying besides Utami, Victoria Yuzuki was the most important get for Marigold. I think Mirai has, stopped that and, proven that she was as important as anyone. But Yuzuki continues to shine, and I think that's what's most important. This was a really good match. The 4 tournament matches on the show, quick, easy to get through, all on Wrestle Universe, all uploaded today. So make sure you go check them out. And then we got Monday, Cork and Hall, 8 matches. It's going to be a lot longer review. Looking forward to doing that one, though. That show starts at 10:30 Eastern on Sunday night, so can't wait to watch it. Nanai versus Sari, Mai Sakurai versus Mikuano, Nori versus Utami, Mirai versus Natsumi Shizuki. It's a great show, so I'm really looking forward to that. But this was a good show as well. I think those last 3 matches especially are worth checking out. Now let's quickly look here at the match ratings as we do. As you can see, let me just zoom in a little bit more. As you can see, we continue to roll on. We're all even up now at 5 matches apiece for everyone. My MVP right now is Mirai. She's at 3.70. Sari sits at 3.65. Right behind her, Nanai at 3.60. Nori as well, 3.60. She's had a great tournament. I think the lower wrestlers in the Star League have had it a little bit rougher in terms of overall match quality. But listen, I don't expect this to be the highest of highs, but those highs from the Mirais and the Saris are great. They're fantastic. You put them in any tournament and they're amongst the best. So this has been a great tournament. I've really enjoyed it. Let's quickly now look here as well at the standings for the tournament as I've been showing, just to give you an idea, because a lot could go down here on the final night of, or the final corking of the tournament. As you can see, Sari at the top, 4-0-1, 9 points. She's facing the Nanai. So if someone wins between her and the Nanai on Monday, Bozilla is eliminated. If they go to a draw, Bozilla's got a great chance of advancing. Same goes here. Nori's in an interesting spot. Her and Utami, I'm gonna guess Utami finally slows her down because that's how Utami stays in the tournament heading into the final night. Um, obviously, Mirai has been great. Oh, sorry, Mirai's points are off. Mirai has been great, and I still think she's the winner of this tournament. It's hard for me to go against her right now, but she's well on her way. So here are your standings are as followed. We have Nori and Kouki Amarei at the top with 8 points in the Dream League block. Then we have Mirai at 7, Utami at 6, and then Nozaki, Natsumi Shizuki, and Victoria Izuki and Chikagoto rounding us out. And then in the Star League, Sari sit at the top as you'd expect with 9 points. Nanai, Mai Sakurai at 8, Miku Aono sitting at 7, Bozilla sitting at 6, and then Chiaki, Kizuna, Tanaka, and Misa Matsui close that down. So obviously a lot to decipher through as we head into that final day of the tournament, but it should be excellent. And I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you are too. I'll be back on Monday with another review, the final non-final day review, I should say, as we head back to Korakuen Hall. Can't wait for that show, like I said. So make sure if you haven't, please press that subscribe button. But thank you everyone for listening today. The shortest video yet of the series, but with 4 matches. What can you expect? Thank you so much for listening. And until Monday, we'll see you. Bye bye.